Why don't so many older adults live past 75? This isn't a matter of genetics or mere luck. The answer lies in a silent yet devastating action that many people unknowingly engage in, an action that defines their fate and, in many cases, shortens their time in this world. In this video, we'll dive into the wisdom of the Stoics and other great thinkers to uncover the real cause behind this phenomenon, and more importantly, how to avoid it. This isn't about superficial advice, but a deep reflection that could mean the difference between living longer or getting trapped in a cycle that slowly consumes you. Stay until the end, because what you're about to learn could transform the way you approach this stage of life, and maybe even extend it far beyond what you thought possible. Let's begin. Number 1, break the habit of postponing your self-care. One of the most dangerous traps at this stage of life is believing there will always be another time to prioritize yourself. After years of dedicating yourself to others, family, work, responsibilities, it's easy to put yourself on the back burner, thinking that caring for your body, mind, and spirit can wait. But reality is clear. Time doesn't wait, and what you postpone today becomes the price you pay tomorrow. The Stoics understood that our lives are a direct reflection of our present actions. Seneca warned, "It's not that we have little time, but that we waste a great deal of it." How many times have you told yourself that tomorrow will be the day you start moving more, eating better, or finally giving your body the rest it truly needs? But that tomorrow keeps getting lost in the inertia of excuses. Postponement isn't just a habit, it's a form of neglect. Every day you choose not to move, to let an opportunity for better nutrition slip away, or to ignore your body's needs, you're making a decision. You're giving in to decline. And that silent accumulation of neglect is what causes so many people to limit themselves too soon, falling into a cycle where illness, fatigue, and a lack of vitality seem inevitable. But they're not. Let's take a simple example. Movement. You don't need to run marathons or spend hours at the gym. Something as simple as walking for 30 minutes a day can be the difference between a body that stays strong and one that begins to deteriorate. And it's not just about the physical benefits. Movement clears the mind, boosts your mood, and reminds you that you're alive, that every step is a statement of your commitment to yourself. The same applies to your nutrition. At this stage of life, food stops being just a pleasure. It becomes either your greatest ally or your worst enemy. You don't have to overhaul everything overnight, but every small choice matters. Cutting back on processed foods, drinking more water, incorporating fresh fruits and vegetables. These aren't just about feeling good. They are a direct investment in the years ahead. And we can't forget rest. We live in a world that glorifies being busy, even when your body and mind are begging for a break. But sleep isn't a luxury, it's a necessity. It's the time when your body repairs itself, your mind reorganizes, and your energy recharges. If you're neglecting your rest, you're shutting the door on the vitality you're searching for. Modern philosopher Alan Watts once said, "The time you enjoy wasting is not wasted time." But the key word here is enjoy. Neglecting yourself isn't enjoying time, it's wasting it in the most dangerous way possible, by abandoning what truly matters. Today is the moment to break the habit of postponing your self-care. Not tomorrow, not next week. This isn't selfish, it's a conscious decision to prioritize yourself because no one else can do it for you. And when you take care of yourself, you send a clear message to the universe and to yourself. I'm here to live fully, not just exist. Don't let procrastination become the biggest thief of your best years. If you start taking care of yourself today, you're paving the way not just for a longer life, but for a life filled with energy, purpose, and well-being. Number 2, let go of what you can't control. A few years ago, I had an experience that changed the way I understood the practical wisdom of the Stoics. It happened during a conversation with my Uncle Richard, a wise and thoughtful man who, at 74, carried a deep sadness. He had recently lost his wife, and though his children lived nearby, he felt an emotional distance between them that seemed impossible to bridge. For hours, we talked about his frustration and how he wished he could change what, deep down, he knew was beyond his control. "Gabriel," he told me one day, "I spend my nights thinking about what I did wrong, how I could have been a better father, a better husband. But all of that is in the past. I can't change it, yet I can't stop thinking about it." His words hit me hard because I saw in him a struggle that affects many people at this stage of life, the habit of pouring our energy into regrets about the past or anxiety about the future. Stoicism teaches us a fundamental truth. Suffering comes from fighting against what we cannot control. As Epictetus said, it's not events that disturb us, but our interpretation of them. My uncle wasn't suffering because of his children's behavior or the loss of his wife. He was suffering because of how he interpreted those events. He was battling a reality he couldn't change, and in doing so, he was draining his emotional energy day after day. What my uncle didn't realize, something we discovered together over time, is that clinging to what you can't control isn't just useless, it's harmful. Recent studies have shown that chronic stress, often caused by worrying about things beyond our control, not only affects our mental health, but also accelerates cellular aging. Researchers at the University of California found that people who focus on problems they can't solve have higher levels of inflammation in their bodies, a key factor in diseases like cancer, diabetes, and heart conditions. This is where practical wisdom comes in. The first step to freeing yourself from this burden is learning to distinguish between what's within your control and what isn't. Your attitude, your choices, and how you respond to events are entirely in your hands. But other people's actions, past events, and the inevitable passage of time are not. The second step is accepting reality as it is. We can't avoid hardships or change what has already happened, but we can choose how we respond. According to Stoicism, peace comes when we stop resisting reality and focus our energy on what we can transform. As Marcus Aurelius put it, you have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. For my uncle, this acceptance meant letting go of his attempts to fix his relationships with his children from a place of guilt, and instead approaching them with love and authenticity. When he stopped worrying about how they judged him and focused on simply being present in their lives, things started to shift. But the most important change didn't happen in his children, it happened in him. I invite you to reflect. How much time and energy have you spent on things beyond your control? Do you constantly worry about your children's attitudes, other people's decisions, or the what-ifs of the past? Every minute spent on these concerns is a minute that could be used to build something new, something that truly matters. Remember, you can't stop time from passing, but you can decide how you live the time you have. By focusing your energy on what you can change, you unlock a transformative power that not only improves your present, but also redefines your future. On that journey, you may discover what my Uncle Richard learned, that peace doesn't come from controlling everything around you, but from accepting what you cannot change and embracing with courage what you can transform. And in that acceptance, you'll find the strength to live with greater serenity and purpose. Number 3, don't let routine become a prison. Imagine a car that has been sitting unused for years. At first it looks fine, but over time, the mechanical parts start to fail. The engine rusts, the tires wear out, and even the battery loses its charge. It may seem ready to go, but in reality, it's no longer useful, simply because it hasn't been started. The same thing happens to our minds and spirits when we let monotony consume us. As we get older, it's easy to fall into routines that, while comfortable, slowly drain us of vitality. The days begin to mirror each other, the same activities, the same conversations, the same places. What could have been a stage of discovery and fulfillment turns into a repetitive cycle where curiosity, the driving force that keeps the spirit young, gradually fades away. Seneca once said, "As long as you live, keep learning how to live." This isn't just advice, it's an invitation to keep your mind engaged, to explore, to question, to discover something new every day, no matter how small. Because curiosity doesn't just nourish the soul, it keeps the brain alive. Neuroscientific studies have shown that learning something new, whether it's a language, an art form, or even a simple fun fact, stimulates the formation of new neural connections, strengthening memory and improving cognitive function. Think about it. When was the last time you learned something that truly excited you? It may have been years since you tried something different, something that broke your routine. But the good news is, it's never too late to start. You don't need to enroll in a university or master a complex subject. Sometimes, simply reading about a new topic, listening to a different genre of music, or trying a new recipe can rekindle that spark of curiosity that's been lying dormant. The Stoics, with their focus on daily practice, taught that life isn't about reaching a final state of perfection. It's about continuous improvement, about learning to live with more wisdom each day. Marcus Aurelius wrote in his Meditations, "Rise and do what nature demands of you. Do not let yourself be carried away by inertia." What does that mean for you? That no matter your age, you can still move, learn, and grow. Breaking monotony doesn't mean abandoning your responsibilities or making drastic changes that leave you feeling lost. It's about small daily actions that remind you that you're alive and that life still has so much to offer. You can start today, maybe by taking a different route on your walk, reading a book you've always wanted to explore, or looking up at the sky with the same wonder you had as a child. Routine is a prison that only you can unlock. Remember, no matter how long a car has been parked, as long as the engine is still there, you can start it again. Your mind and spirit work the same way. They are meant to move, to discover, to expand. Don't let routine rust them away. Because, in the end, every small step outside of the familiar is a declaration that you're still learning to live, and that's what keeps you truly alive. Today, do something different, no matter how small. Don't put it off. Every new action you take, every seed of curiosity you plant, is an investment in your well-being and in the quality of the years ahead. As Seneca said, "As long as you live, keep learning how to live." Make that your mantra, and you'll never feel trapped by monotony. If this video has resonated with you so far, if you're finding real ways to transform your life using Stoic wisdom to navigate this stage with energy, clarity, and purpose, I invite you to subscribe and hit the like button. Doing so helps me continue creating content that inspires and guides those who want to make the most of every day with dignity and peace of mind. Leave a comment and tell me, where are you watching this from? I'd love to know how far these reflections are reaching, and if this lesson has spoken to you, write in the comments, "I live with wisdom." That simple affirmation could be your first step toward taking control of your life. Stay until the end, because the final lesson in this video might just give you the key to unlocking what you're still capable of achieving, no matter how many years go by. Let's continue. Number 4, let go of the need for your children's approval. There's a silent burden that many carry at this stage of life, the desire to feel that their children recognize everything they've done for them. It's natural. After years of dedicating yourself to their well-being, you want to be valued, to be sought after, to feel their gratitude. But what happens when that validation doesn't come the way you expected? When the calls are sporadic, the visits are brief, and words of appreciation are rare. Here's a truth that may be hard to accept. You don't need your children's approval to reaffirm your worth. Seneca put it wisely. The man who seeks the approval of others will always be their slave. Your acts of love, your dedication, everything you have given throughout your life, none of it needs validation to be valuable. Because your worth does not depend on how others, even your children, perceive it. True self-love begins when you stop waiting for others to fill your emotional voids. Without realizing it, we often place a burden on our children that isn't theirs to carry, the responsibility of making us feel whole, loved, and acknowledged. But that expectation only leads to frustration because other people's gratitude is not within our control. What is within your control is how you value yourself, how you choose to treat yourself with the same love and dedication you once gave to others. Not long ago, Lisa, a longtime follower of this channel, shared her story with me. Lisa is 72 years old and spent decades living for her children. She was the heart of the family, always available, always giving. But as her children grew up and built their own lives, Lisa began to feel left behind. The visits became infrequent, and at family gatherings, she felt like her efforts went unnoticed. For a while, Lisa let that feeling of abandonment define her life. She blamed herself, wondering what she had done wrong or what she could do to reclaim her place in their lives. Until one day, after reflecting on one of our videos, she had a realization. Her worth should not depend on how others saw her, not even her own children. "I can't keep looking outside for what I need to find within myself," she told me. That moment changed everything. Lisa decided to focus on what she could control, her own happiness. She revisited old hobbies, started doing things she had long put off, and most importantly, she began treating herself with the same love she had been waiting to receive. In doing so, she not only transformed her own life, but also her relationship with her children. Without the pressure of unspoken expectations, they began reaching out to her more often, not out of obligation, but out of a genuine connection. So now I ask you, how much time have you spent waiting for your children to value you in the way you expect? How much of your peace have you sacrificed in that pursuit? It's time to step out of that cycle and turn your attention back to yourself. Epictetus said, "He who is at peace with himself does not depend on the approval of others." This is your moment to refocus your energy on self-love, because when you start valuing yourself, not based on how others see you, but on what you know you are, everything changes. Your self-worth stops being a reflection of others and becomes an unshakable force within you. Letting go of the need for your children's approval doesn't mean loving them any less. In fact, it allows you to love them more freely, without attachments or expectations. It means giving yourself the same love you have always given to others. Because you deserve to feel whole, not because someone else recognizes your worth, but because you do. Do it for yourself. Love yourself so deeply that the love of others becomes a gift, not a necessity. And when you do, you'll realize that peace, that self-acceptance, was the only thing you truly needed all along. Number 5. Don't let resentment take root. Resentment is like an invisible thorn. If you don't remove it in time, it buries itself deeper and deeper, stealing your peace and the emotional space you need to truly live. It can stem from many places: family disappointments, friendships that faded away, promises that were never kept. And without realizing it, you can carry that weight for years, not knowing that it's the very thing holding you back. The The Stoics taught that resentment is nothing more than self-imposed suffering. Epictetus said, "No one can hurt you without your consent." That may be hard to accept, but it holds a powerful truth. It's not the actions of others that harm you, it's how you choose to respond to them. When you let past wounds dictate your present, you're handing over your power and peace to people who, in many cases, don't even realize they have that control over you. Resentment is a prison built by your own thoughts. Imagine it as a dark room where you replay over and over again someone's hurtful words, the times they didn't reach out, or the opportunities you feel were taken from you. But here's the question that changes everything. Who benefits from your resentment? Certainly not you. The longer you hold on to that pain, the only person suffering is you. Modern science supports this ancient wisdom. Studies have shown that prolonged resentment and negative emotions increase cortisol, the body's stress hormone. This doesn't just affect your mood, it weakens your immune system, raises your blood pressure, and even disrupts your sleep. In other words, holding on to resentment poisons not just your mind, but your body as well. So how do you let go? Forgiveness is the most powerful tool, but not forgiveness as a favor to those who hurt you. This is forgiveness as a gift to yourself, a way to clear space in your heart for something better. Forgiving doesn't mean excusing the harm or reconciling with those who wronged you. It means releasing the control those experiences have over you and consciously choosing your own peace. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "The best revenge is to be unlike the one who caused you harm." This is a reminder that you don't have to respond to pain with more pain or keep negative emotions alive. Your strength lies in letting go, in being the master of your mind and emotions instead of a prisoner to the actions of others. Try this exercise. Close your eyes and imagine carrying a heavy sack over your shoulders. Inside are all the painful memories, the disappointments, the words left unsaid, and the unresolved conflicts. Now imagine setting that sack down. Feel how your body lightens, how your mind clears, how the air flows more freely into your lungs. That is what it feels like to let go of resentment. You might think it's not that simple, and it isn't, but it is possible. Start small, with a daily decision not to relive what hurts you, not to feed thoughts that only bring you more suffering. Each time a painful memory comes to mind, remind yourself, "This no longer has power over me. I let it go to find my peace." Letting go of resentment isn't just an act of strength, it's a declaration of self-love. Because when you choose to release it, you're saying, "I deserve better, I deserve peace, I deserve fulfillment." And in that choice, you begin to create an emotional space where the past no longer controls your days and the present becomes a place of serenity and new possibilities. Don't let resentment take root. It doesn't deserve a place in your life. You deserve a light heart and a peaceful mind. Make that decision a daily habit, and you'll find that by letting go of what weighs you down, you make room for what truly matters. Number 6, don't retire from your passions. At some point, society makes us believe that retirement or old age is a kind of end point. We're subtly encouraged to take it easy, to step away from the things that once gave us energy and purpose. But this is one of the biggest mistakes you can make. Walking away from your passions doesn't just dim your spirit, it can drastically limit the quality of the years ahead. The Stoics saw life as a continuous exercise of action, purpose, and meaning. Even as emperor, Marcus Aurelius never stopped writing, reflecting, and working on his personal growth. He said, "The soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts." This means that no matter what stage of life you're in, there's always something you can contribute, something you can do to keep your soul vibrant and active. Your passions don't have to be grand or public. They can be simple things that fill your days with energy and meaning: writing, gardening, painting, cooking, teaching something you know. What matters isn't what you do, but the fact that you stay connected to something that sparks your curiosity and keeps you engaged with life. Neuroscience confirms that people who maintain hobbies and passions throughout life not only experience greater emotional fulfillment, but also preserve their cognitive abilities. Engaging in something you love stimulates the brain to release dopamine, the feel-good hormone, while strengthening neural connections that support memory, concentration, and mental sharpness. In other words, your passions are a natural antidote to aging. Imagine a musician who stops playing because he thinks he's too old. Each day without playing, his hands lose agility, his ear grows accustomed to silence, and his spirit fades a little more. Now picture the opposite. Someone who keeps playing, not to perfect their skill, but simply because every note brings joy. Their body may age, but their mind and heart remain young. That's the difference between giving up on your passions and keeping them alive. Seneca said, "As long as you live, keep learning how to live." Your passions are part of that learning process. They are the bridge between your inner world and the outside world. When you abandon them, monotony and apathy take their place, and that can be more damaging than any physical sign of aging. Think back to something you once loved to do. Maybe it was drawing, dancing, writing, fixing things, or even helping others. Why did you stop? Was it a lack of time? The thought that it no longer mattered? Now is the time to pick up that passion again, or discover a new one. Not because you need to prove anything to anyone, but because your spirit needs it. Ask yourself, what could make me feel alive today? The answer doesn't have to be grand. It could be as simple as taking a walk in a place you've always wanted to explore, learning to cook a new dish, or picking up a book you once started but never finished. What matters is that each action you take is a way to reconnect with what brings you joy. It's never too late to rediscover your passions or to find new ones, and it doesn't matter if others understand them or share them. What matters is what they mean to you. Because when you stay connected to what you love, you send a clear message to the universe. I'm still here. I'm still growing. I still have so much to live for. Don't retire from your passions. Let them be the fuel that drives you every day, and you'll find that no matter how many years pass, your spirit will remain as vibrant as ever. Because living isn't just about existing, it's about fully enjoying the things that make you feel alive. Number 7, stop ignoring your body's signals. Your body is always speaking to you. Every ache, every discomfort, every heartbeat, it's sending you messages. But how often have you ignored them? It's normal, you think. It's just part of aging. And while it's true that the body changes over time, that doesn't mean you should accept decline as inevitable or resign yourself to a life of limitations. Stoicism teaches us to take action over what is within our control, and your body is within your control. You can't stop aging, but you can decide how you face it. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "The art of living is more like wrestling than dancing." In other words, life requires balance, awareness, and effort, and that balance starts by listening, by understanding that your body isn't just a machine that carries you through the years, but the only home you'll ever live in. Science backs this idea. Studies show that paying attention to your body and taking preventive action can add years of quality to your life. This isn't about obsessing over every minor symptom. It's about being mindful and making conscious choices to care for yourself. A daily walk, a more balanced diet, regular checkups, even something as simple as deep breathing to reduce stress. These small habits can make a huge difference. Ignoring your body's signals is like ignoring cracks in a house. Eventually, those cracks become bigger problems that could have been avoided with early attention. But here's the good news. it's never too late to start taking better care of yourself. Every small effort you make today is an investment in your future vitality and freedom. Think about this. How many times has your body asked for rest, yet you pushed through? How many times have you told yourself, "I'll start taking better care of myself tomorrow"? But that tomorrow never comes. This is your moment to break that cycle, to pay attention, to honor the connection between your body and mind. Because true inner peace is impossible if your body feels neglected. Caring for your body isn't just a physical act, it's an act of self-respect. Every time you choose to move, to nourish yourself properly, or to simply listen to what your body needs, you're saying, "I matter. My life matters." So now I leave you with these questions. When was the last time you truly listened to your body? What has it been telling you that you've ignored? And what can you do today, no matter how small, to show that you're ready to care for it the way it deserves? These questions aren't meant for quick answers. They're meant to guide you, to help you make choices that won't just extend your life, but allow you to live it with energy, purpose, and gratitude. Because real wisdom isn't about avoiding aging. It's about learning to live in harmony with it. Life, at any age, isn't about how much time you have. It's about how you choose to live it. Every day you wake up is an opportunity to start fresh, to make choices that nourish your mind, body, and spirit. Don't let routine, resentment, or fear dictate your path. Instead, have the courage to choose what makes you feel alive, what allows you to honor the time you have ahead. Stoicism teaches us that while we can't control everything that happens, we can control how we respond. That is your power, and it's available to you no matter how many years have passed. This video has been an invitation to reflect, to rethink the things you do and the things you don't, so that this stage of your life is not just longer, but richer and more meaningful. My name is Gabriel, and if this is your first time on this channel, I invite you to subscribe and turn on notifications. Here, we share ideas that inspire, transform, and help you live with greater purpose. If you've made it this far, it means you're committed to your personal growth, and that deserves recognition. Let me know you're part of this journey by commenting, "I live with wisdom," and tell me where you're watching from. I'd love to know who's with me on this path of self-discovery. And before you go, share this video with someone who needs it. Sometimes, just a few words can change a day, a mindset, or even an entire life. Here are more videos that will surely inspire you. Thank you for being here. Take care, and I'll see you soon.